In 2026, there are still places on Earth that are so restricted you would be stopped before you even get close. And in some cases, you would not just be turned away, you would be tracked and removed within minutes. And what makes this even more shocking is that many of these places are not hidden in the mountains or lost in deserts. They are clearly marked on maps, sometimes even visible on Google Earth. But access is blocked by governments, military zones, private ownership, or international law. And here is the part most people never think about. Some of these locations are not dangerous because of what is inside them. They are dangerous simply because humans are not allowed to be there at all. And that creates a strange question. If a place exists on Earth, but no ordinary person is allowed to step inside, is it really part of our world in the way we think? And today, we are going to take you through 10 more places that you are not allowed to visit, even if you wanted to. And by the end of this video, you may start realizing that Earth has far more invisible boundaries than visible ones. Number 10. North Brother Island, USA. North Brother Island is located in New York City's East River, and despite being just minutes away from one of the most populated cities in the world, it is completely abandoned and strictly off-limits to the public. And this island once served as a quarantine station for highly infectious diseases, including smallpox and tuberculosis, where thousands of patients were isolated under strict medical conditions, and many never left. And after the medical facilities were shut down, the island was completely abandoned, and over time, nature took over the entire structure, turning hospitals, residential buildings, and pathways into collapsing ruins covered in vegetation and unstable foundations. And today, the island is officially restricted due to safety hazards, environmental concerns, and structural instability. And unauthorized access is strictly prohibited. And what makes it even more disturbing is the contrast between silence and chaos. Because just across the water, millions of people live their daily lives, while this place remains frozen in time, like a forgotten piece of history hidden inside a modern city. Number 9. Niihau Coastal Restricted Zone, Hawaii. Niihau Island is privately owned and often called the Forbidden Island of Hawaii. But what most people do not realize is that restrictions extend beyond the island itself, because the surrounding waters are also strictly controlled, and access is limited only to residents and approved personnel. And the island has preserved an isolated Hawaiian community that has maintained traditional lifestyle, language, and cultural identity for generations without outside influence. And there are no commercial flights, no tourism infrastructure, and no public transportation allowed. And even the surrounding sea routes are monitored and restricted to prevent unauthorized entry, making it one of the most tightly controlled coastal regions in the United States. And what makes it even more unique is that it operates almost like a private world inside a modern country, where access is not just restricted by law, but enforced by ownership, tradition, and isolation itself. Number 8. Mount Yamantau, Russia. Mount Yamantau is a heavily secured mountain region in Russia that has remained surrounded by secrecy for decades. And although official details are extremely limited, the area is controlled by military forces and civilian access is completely forbidden. And what makes this location so mysterious is the combination of restricted airspace, satellite observations, and limited public information, which has led to speculation about large underground facilities, possibly built inside or beneath the mountain. And while none of these theories are officially confirmed, the level of protection around the region suggests that something highly sensitive exists there. and the entire area is monitored with strict security protocols, making it one of the most inaccessible and secretive regions in Russia, where even geographic transparency is restricted. Number 7. Morgan Island, USA. Morgan Island in South Carolina is a highly restricted biomedical research facility used for primate studies, and the entire island functions as a controlled scientific environment where human access is strictly limited to authorized researchers. And what makes this island unusual is that it is not simply a protected natural area, but an active laboratory where animals are studied under controlled conditions for disease research and medical science. And strict biosecurity protocols are enforced to prevent contamination or external interference. And even transport of materials in and out of the island is heavily regulated and monitored. And although it appears like a normal coastal island from a distance, in reality, it operates like a sealed biological research zone, where everything is controlled and nothing is left to chance, making it one of the most inaccessible scientific locations in the United States. Number 6. Surtsey Island, Iceland. Surtsey Island is one of the youngest islands on Earth, formed by volcanic eruptions in the 1960s. And what makes it scientifically important is that it provides a completely untouched environment where researchers can study how ecosystems develop from absolute zero without any human interference. And because of this, the island has been designated as a strictly protected scientific reserve, where human access is extremely limited, and only a small number of approved scientists are allowed to visit under controlled conditions. And every visit is carefully regulated to prevent contamination of the natural environment. And long-term ecological studies are conducted to observe how plant life, insects, and microorganisms gradually colonize new volcanic land, making it one of the most strictly protected natural laboratories in the world. Number 5. Mount Weather Emergency Facility, USA. Mount Weather is a classified United States government facility located in Virginia, designed for emergency continuity of government operations. And while its existence is publicly acknowledged, almost all internal details remain classified. And the facility itself is built deep underground, with reinforced structures designed to withstand extreme national emergencies. And it is protected by restricted airspace surveillance systems and military-grade security, making it one of the most secure government installations in the country. And what makes it particularly mysterious is not just its purpose, but the lack of public knowledge regarding its full operational capabilities, including how many systems operate underground, and how national governance could function from within during crisis situations. And this combination of partial transparency and extreme secrecy keeps Mount Weather one of the most restricted government sites in the United States. Number 4. RAF, Menwith Hill, United Kingdom. RAF Menwith Hill is one of the most secretive intelligence facilities in the United Kingdom, and it plays a major role in global surveillance and communication interception systems. And although the base is visible from outside, it is surrounded by restricted zones, advanced radar systems, and constant monitoring that prevents any unauthorized access, and civilian entry is strictly forbidden. And what makes this facility significant is its connection to international intelligence networks, which has led to global speculation about the scale of its operations. And while official descriptions state that it supports communications and defense intelligence, very little detailed information is released about its internal systems, making it one of the most heavily protected and least transparent intelligence sites in Europe. Number 3. Zone Rouge, France. Zone Rouge, or Red Zone in France, refers to vast areas of land that were completely destroyed during World War I and remain uninhabitable due to unexploded ordnance, toxic contamination, and long-term environmental damage. And after the war, authorities made the decision to permanently restrict access instead of rebuilding these regions. And over time, large sections were fenced off and marked as dangerous zones, where entry is strictly prohibited. And even today, unexploded bombs and chemical residues still remain buried beneath the soil, making the land unsafe for human habitation. And what makes Zone Rouge historically significant is that it serves as a permanent reminder of the long-term consequences of war, where entire landscapes were so heavily damaged that they were never returned to civilian use. Number 2. McMurdo Dry Valleys, Antarctica. The McMurdo Dry Valleys are one of the most extreme environments in Antarctica, where almost no ice or snow exists due to unique climatic conditions, and the region is often compared to Mars-like terrain because of its dry, rocky landscape and harsh environmental conditions. And although scientific research is allowed, access is extremely limited and strictly controlled under international Antarctic treaties to ensure environmental protection and prevent ecological disturbance. And only approved research teams are permitted to enter under strict supervision and logistical support. And what makes this region so important is that it serves as a natural laboratory for studying extraterrestrial conditions and climate evolution. But despite its scientific importance, it remains completely inaccessible to the general public, making it one of the most restricted natural environments on Earth. Number 1. Cape Melville Range, Australia. Cape Melville Range is one of the most remote and least explored regions in Australia, due to its extremely rugged terrain, dense rainforest, and extremely difficult accessibility. And the landscape is filled with massive granite boulders, deep valleys, and isolated ecosystems that make exploration extremely challenging. And scientific studies have been very limited, because reaching the interior requires specialized equipment and extreme environmental conditions. And what makes this area particularly fascinating is that it is one of the few places on Earth where new species are still being discovered in modern times, due to its isolation and lack of human interference. And even today, large portions remain virtually untouched, making it one of the most inaccessible natural regions where human presence is extremely rare and heavily restricted by geography itself. And that is, 10 more places on Earth you are not allowed to visit. And whether the restrictions come from science, safety, security, or geography, the reality remains the same, that large parts of our planet are still completely inaccessible to ordinary people. And the more you explore these locations, the more you realize how much of Earth is still hidden from human access and control. If you enjoy mysteries, hidden places, and unexplained stories from around the world, then make sure to subscribe to Echoes of the Forgotten for more content like this.